Parenting Paused this week with Leslie Potter. And I am just waking up from a nap. It made me think about a topic that I wanted to share with you called active resting. Now, I did not adopt my daughter until I was 44. And so I was very, very interested in conserving my energy. Here I had this young toddler with just abounding energy, and I was ready to conserve mine a bit. So, what I learned in watching my daughter was in her energetic configuration, she needed to express a lot of energy. Like there was a lot of stimulation happening in her world. So she would experience something, and I could see this charge happening in her body. And that charge needed a place to like unload or express. Now, if I took in that much energy also and would meet her in that, I would be running around, like let's say she was running around all over trying to discharge the energy. Then I was running around and chasing her, which actually activated her energy even more. She would get all excited and scream, and she would run away, and I would be coming after her, and I would have to run harder to do my best to catch up with her. And so I started watching. I was like, well, I wonder because we're at different places energetically. So I would stand there and then I would stomp my foot. And I would just stand in one place. I was like the center point, and she would run around me, just run and scream and yell. And then she'd get a little far away, and I would just stomp my foot again, and she would run. And I found that I didn't have to chase after her because when I did, she would go further out. Her energy would go further. So I started learning about centering my energy and staying in one place, which in a way made me this like anchor, this safe emotional anchor that she could revolve around. And so she would have an energetic charge and start to run away. And instead of chasing her, I would stay solid or I would go the other way and she would come toward me. Now, this was fascinating for me because, again, I was conserving my energy and letting her in her young self, not letting her, but in her young being, she had all this energy. So it was just discharging, and I wasn't trying to meet and match that and chase and bring my energy up to meet hers. So I started calling this active resting. So I was very active in my presence, I'll put it that way. I was very available and I was alive and I was right there, but I wasn't discharging the same amount of energy that she was discharging. So play with this week and just see what happens. I mean, just do it as an experiment. Like try to find that interior center point inside of you and then make yourself that center point and just play when you're outside, just like stomp your foot and see if they giggle and run and chase around, but do your best not to chase them. When they start going, just stomp your foot again and see if they run around and just charge that energy while you stay in your center point in an active resting position. Now, what I found this did was to conserve my energy in my parenting so I could stay more present and I could stay more connected with what my energy was more grounding. I would ground my energy into the earth versus her energy wasn't so grounded. It was moving around. It was active. There was just so much stimulation happening inside of her being because of all the new stimulation that was coming in. Well, that stimulation was old for me, and I knew what to do when I would see a charge. I would take that energy down and ground into my body, as strange as that sounds. And I know you probably know what I'm talking about. I could take more intensity without having to discharge that energy because I couldn't tolerate it. So I was able to contain my energy more, which put me in what I call that active resting position. Now, this gave me so much more energy to be with a toddler. Instead of being worn out by the end of the day, I actually could take that energy, ground it, and actually be, as I say, more present, more alive, and actually even be nourished by her energy instead of being worn out by it. So try it this week. Let me know what you find out. I would love to hear. You can always contact me at leslie@purejoyparenting.com or join me in Facebook, Instagram. But I'd just be curious as what you notice as you practice active resting. All right, lovies, I hope you have a great week this week, and I'll see you next week on Parenting Paused. Thank you for listening to this episode of Parenting Paused. If you enjoyed the episode, do me a favor and share it with your mama friends. You can also leave a review wherever you listen, which will support getting the Pure Joy message out. Come on over to the Pure Joy Parenting Practice Facebook page or join me on Instagram to hear more. And don't forget to download your free copy of the Safe Seat course on the Pure Joy website. And while there, check out the offerings page to go deeper in the Pure Joy work.